Everybody's leading something. You're leading your own life. You might be leading a family, an organization, or a team, or your business. And I was on a panel recently, and the question that was asked of us was, what's the best piece of advice a mentor or someone in your life, like a business colleague, a boss, a coworker, ever gave you? And I thought, that's interesting to me. Sometimes we learn the most from our worst bosses. Don't you agree? Like, you had a bad situation, but somehow you found that silver lining. That is really good. I will say, I received a piece of advice that I use in my work to this day. I started off in creative sales years ago. We're not going to say how many years because it's a multi-generational workforce, and we are all welcome at the table, my friends. And yet, I was in sales, and I was designing some kind of an event, and I don't know what my trepidation was. I don't remember, but I remember the person I worked with said, listen, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Walk up to that lion you fear the most and stick your head in its mouth. It's probably not going to bite. And I was, wow, how do I do that? And she said, don't be afraid of failing. You're probably not going to fail. And if you do, it's a game of numbers. There'll be something else that'll come along. Trust that. And that was huge. I think that you have to have a little bit of trust, and you have to be fearless in failing forward. You've definitely had something that's happened in your life that was horrific, and I'm sorry about that. But you know that there's been some silver lining. There's been some growth, and you've used that growth to be better in your life. That's what I'm talking about. That's the lion that you feared. You stuck your head in its mouth. Maybe a bit, maybe it didn't, but you learned something. And I think those are really important moments. And for me, I remind myself of those things daily because life is daily. And we all need a push. We wake up with different energy every morning, depending on what's going on. So I love to say time management's extremely important. How you spend your time, when you spend it, where you spend it, very important. But so is your energy management. How do you show up at the table, right? What is it that helps you propel yourself forward? I will tell you this little secret. And I learned this from my comedy professor, and I saw it play out in my own life. Chances are, many times, the audience wants you to win. Your client wants you to win. The people that look up to you in your leadership role want you to win. And because of what's ever going on in our lives, whether we're self-sabotaging, for whatever reason we're fearful, if we have a couple little anchor phrases, like the one I just shared with you, whatever your anchor phrase is, that can help you move forward. So if I'm in a predicament or a situation where I'm just, my energy might be off a little bit, I say, you know what, Denise? Walk up to that lion you fear the most. Stick your head in its mouth. It's probably not going to bite you. And you know what, my friend? It usually doesn't. And I always feel good because I know I tried, right? Wayne Gretzky will say, you miss 100% of those chances that you don't go for. So that was my first piece of advice that someone gave me. And another piece of advice that I really love is 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. And you know I'm a talker. You know I'm a talker. So I have to dial it in. But when I'm intently listening, I lock in. I listen, I look in your eyes, I smile, or maybe I grimace, depending on what you're saying, but I listen intently. Listen intently without getting ready for your rebuttal or your response. And that's hard sometimes when you're in deep negotiation and you really want to win. You're getting ready to answer that question before the person finished their sentence. But if you can pause and you can really listen, you create trust. And with that trust, you can create collaboration and problem solving. And so you can create a win-win. When you create trust, you create clarity around you and whomever you're speaking with. And that clarity is really a new currency. That's how I look at it. Wit, wisdom, clarity. We like to share stories here. Ideas that hopefully something resonates with you, sparks something, you take it along and you use it in your own life that helps you navigate through whatever you're working on, or your challenges are, or your new beginnings. I think when you share a little bit of wisdom and you share it authentically, you help people move forward. And I like to believe that here on Mavs Coffee Clarity, we do just that. So I'm thankful for everybody that's tuned in today, that's given us your feedback. Some of the feedback I listened to was, we definitely need to see it on YouTube. And I'm going to tell you, I was like, YouTube, and I got to worry about my hair and my makeup and what am I wearing? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna stick my head in that lion's mouth, and I'm gonna try it. And we are going to listen to our audience and continue to evolve and take this podcast, this show, to places where it can really serve creative people, entrepreneurs, doers, growth-minded thinkers like you, to help them move forward in whatever their purpose-driven missions are. So peace out, my friends. I'm thankful for you today. Follow me wherever you listen to your favorite pods, and check out DeniseDeGrigley.com and sign up for my monthly newsletter. We give you a few extra tips there, and you can also put your questions in the contact form. I'm so thankful for you. I hope you're having a great week.